Well, I'm back again, and as promised, a couple more videos and some of the stuff that I am taking on this trip for the Appalachian Trail. The big three that everybody always talks about, of course, is pack, shelter, and sleeping bag. Well, we already covered my shelter with the Hennessy hammock, ultralight that we went and did the little demos on, and now I just wanted to show everybody my pack. With it is currently fully packed. This is everything I plan on taking on the trail, plus 7 days worth of food that's already packed in here. I'm not going to break everything out at this time, but I just wanted to show the pack and kind of go over why I chose this one. It's an Osprey Aether 70. It's actually a very large pack. I'll probably have one of the larger packs out on the trail. Most people go with a little 40 liter pack. 65 liter is probably one of the bigger ones. I chose the 70. Well, first I chose Osprey because it's a great brand. Reached out to a bunch of people, did some research on the packs, and they got great customer service. We own a couple of Osprey packs already, mostly little day packs, but I wanted to get a good pack that had good customer service, good warranty. It's well tested out on the trail. And the reason I went with such a bigger pack is for future trips that I have where resupply is not really going to be common. I don't want to keep buying packs. Oh, well, now I need a larger pack because I'm going to do the Pacific Coast Trail, and the resupply is not for 10 days, so you need a bigger pack. I want to go ahead and just get one pack I knew will last me for a good long time. That's why I went ahead and went with the 70 instead of going with a smaller pack, where on the Appalachian Trail you can resupply every 3 or 4 days. But for other trips in the future where I'm not going to have that opportunity, I went ahead and went with a bigger pack. Not real happy with the color, even though it is hook 'em horn orange, but I like a little more subdued, but the orange was the better looking color out of the three on the Aether. As I said, it is a rather large pack, but it does have plenty of compression straps where I can actually cinch this thing down quite a bit to take up all the space that I'm not using. And it is fully loaded right now. It's weighing in right now with all my food for the first 7 days of food. It's weighing in right around 48 pounds, I believe, was the last weigh-in. We'll do another weigh-in on it. Take it out to the airport, throw it on just to be confirmed, because we have made a few adjustments since the last weigh-in. A couple of things that are good about the pack: it's got straps on the bottom for your pad. It's already there, and they are removable, so if you didn't want to put a pad on the outside or straps up and down, you can go ahead and remove those straps. It does have two stretchy pockets on each side. Currently I've got water in there. You can reach in from the top or the bottom. I've got it cinched down pretty tight right now, but I can get in there while I'm hiking, get my water out, right, and then I can put it back in. So it is a good little stretchy pocket there. The straps, you can route these on the outside of the pocket, or you can actually route them on the inside. So it is customizable in certain ways. Again, got some cinch straps to really tighten it down. I've got the second pocket, stretchy pocket for water. Right now I've just got some homemade trail mix in there. Something that I will never use, but it has it on there. I'll probably end up hanging a towel or my clothes off of these straps, but they're actually for ice axes. I don't plan on doing any ice hiking or climbing anytime. It does have a separate compartment in the bottom that is accessible for the sleeping bag. All right, and it does have a divider inside, so I can keep all my clothes, cooking supplies, food, and everything separate from my actual sleeping compartment. And in the bottom of my compartment right now, I actually have my sleeping bag, and I went ahead and consolidated my hammock down here. That's why it doesn't sit and pack out real well. It's not balanced real well just right now. I'll have to readjust that. But obviously, if I'm breaking out my hammock, I'm probably gonna need my sleep system. So I just kept both of them stored together. So if I need that, I'm not having to dig all the way through my pack. I just put it in the bottom. On the outside main body of the pack, we also have this nice stretchy material. All right, little kangaroo storage pouch here. This is good for if I need to shove anything in there, if I'm taking off layers as I go. Right now I've got my rain gear just shoved in there. Obviously it's already waterproof, water resistant, so it doesn't really matter if it gets a little wet, and it gives me a spot where I can quickly grab that. But I can also shed layers on the trail as I go and shove them in here without having to go into my main pack and start reorganizing. And again, I can cinch all this down nice and tight. One of the cool things about this pack that really actually drew me to it after I did a little of my research Again, I wanted a larger pack that I could use, but it was the brain bucket up here. All right, this, not only does it have two nice little pockets for organizing, and I've got kind of my more common items up here that are zipped in, my toilet paper, my shovel, some sunscreen, my first aid kit, you know, items that I might be able to need immediately without having to dig in my pack. I've got them up here. Well, the other cool thing about this is I can actually remove this entire brain off the top of my pack. If I didn't want all of this with me. And Osprey has a top flap that then snaps right on. Gray buckles, gray buckle, so you know what strap goes to what, which was really cool on their part, I think, color coordinating these straps and the buckles. So you really didn't get confused with where's that strap go. Instead, you know. So now, my pack's covered up, I've gotten the brain off the top, and I can cinch it down. And my pack is still covered up if I decided to shrink this down. But what's really good about this brain, and I've actually got stuff in here, but this major pocket right here, this large pocket on top, you can shove some stuff in there, and I've got my Appalachian Trail book in there, some very personal deck of cards for me, but it can turn into a day pack. So now if I need to go to town, if I need to throw my dirty clothes in while doing laundry, I can secure my pack somewhere, and I can literally load up this little day pack just by connecting the straps, getting them strapped in, and I've got a day pack for this trip if I really needed it. All right, as of right now, don't really have a big use for a day pack, but I can see where going and doing laundry, running into town for quick food, resupply, I've got plenty of room in there to fit food, other stuff, other supplies, and I'm still organized from the stuff that I had already put in my brain. With my other smaller pocket right here, some attachment loops if I needed to hang some stuff off of it, and of course it quickly goes right back on the pack. So it's a real good concept they came up with. I really like that. It was kind of one of the deciding factor on exactly which model I ended up going with, was being able to have the ability to convert this down by dropping a few liters off if I wanted to just go hiking with the pack and I didn't see I needed the day pack, or if I wanted to be able to have a day pack, go out later and bust out off of a side trail while storing my main gear somewhere else. It was a nice addition to it. Going back to the main pack, some of the nice features, it has this exoskeleton, definitely vents as you're walking. I've been putting in 5, 10, 15-mile days out on the trails just prepping for this, getting used to the weight of the pack, getting used to the wear, and it does sweat, especially in this one area right here, but you can definitely feel the cooling effect with the wind and the air being able to actually vent behind you. So this frame, even though it's an internal frame, it is very rigid. I've had to adjust it a couple of times, and right before I get on the trail, we're going to stop at one of my favorite stores and my wife's least favorite stores, REI. We are going to leave all the credit cards and cash in the car when we go inside, but and have them go ahead and readjust this to me with all my weight in the pack. And they'll do that for free. You just take it in there. They'll go ahead and make sure everything's set up right. Just a last minute adjustment before I get out on the trail. The straps, shoulder straps, are very well padded. I really can't complain about them. Definitely some of the better straps that I've ever had in my life for backpacking or military use. It does have a sternum strap here with a built-in whistle and the buckle, but the sternum strap is adjustable. You can come way down with it on both sides to fit your sizing how you want it, exactly where it is. So it is very adjustable, especially for the sternum straps. Pretty cool little idea, making it slidable. It also has this little attachment here. It's a stow on the go for your hiking poles. It has a little label, even says for your poles. I've tried it a couple of times doing it. It says stow on the go, so you can stow them. It does work. It takes a little practice, and you should go out and practice with your gear before you go. But it does keep them out of the way. About the only thing I don't like is the spike, the sharp pointy end of your hiking poles is up here versus back here. I understand why they do that. They don't want you shoving the poles back there and possibly ripping. But they do kind of get in the way a little bit when hiking, at least for me, occasionally stabbing yourself with them. The waist belt, again, fully adjustable. It also does have these two nice hip pockets. Again, little items in here that you may want to get to a little bit faster. I plan on shoving my camera in one of these, as well as my bandana for wiping sweat off. Just little items that you might want to get to real quickly. The strap is very comfortable, very adjustable. It does have a hydration sleeve inside the pack, okay, and you can route the hose out. It's the one thing I really don't like about this pack is the actual hydration pouch. Going to the top, we've already shown you can actually access all your gear from the top. What is nice is you can also access your gear with this side zipper right here. Okay, so this actually zips open and I can get to all my gear without having to pull it all out of the top. It's all packed in here. I can open it up and go, okay, hey, that's great. I just want to go ahead and get my water shoes. I can pull my water shoes right out. I don't actually have to go in from the top and start pulling stuff out. The bad side of this is the hydration bladder. It is literally wedged up between your back and all your gear, which makes it very difficult to get your hydration bladder out if you need to refill it. Practicing it a couple of times, there is no way to easily get it shoved back into the pack without actually having to take stuff out, get your bladder back in, and then you have to repack your pack once it's refilled. And of course run the hose back out through the pack strap here at the hydration port. They make a bigger pack called the Xfinity. I looked at it, it was just way too big. The smallest size one they had, I believe, was an 85 liter. I don't see myself ever needing a pack that big. But what I did like about them, that particular pack, was it had an external water bladder between you and the frame. So you were able to go ahead and get your bladder out, refill it, put it back in without having to unpack your bag. Now, nothing's perfect in the world, but literally, so far, that is the only thing that I've found that I don't like about the pack, has been the internal water bladder. Everything else, it's rode very comfortable. Again, it's rather large. Talking to plenty of people who've hiked the trail before, I'll probably shed some of the stuff that's in here. The weather's been a little wonky out there lately, so taking a little bit more warm gear right now, starting off, than I may have needed in previous years at the time frame I'm starting. And I'll probably shed some of that winter gear, put it in a bounce box, either mail it up the trail for when I get further north, or I'll go ahead and send it home depending on how the time frame goes. So that's the Osprey pack. It's one of my big three of the three items that you always choose to go ahead before you start getting the rest of your stuff going. We've already covered the shelter, and the next time we'll talk about my sleeping bag. The Hennessy hammock was a gift from my wife for Christmas, and it was something I talked about, so I got my shelter. It was one of the new things I got, and my pack is a new thing. When we get to my actual sleep system, it's actually an old system. Trying to use what we have instead of going out and buying new gear, just because it's the latest fad. And we'll get to that in the next one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting me out there. Thanks to my wife who's doing all the video, and she's in a robe right now. She's not happy about this, me making her do this, but my largest and my biggest supporter on this, so I always thank her. All right, thanks guys. Hope to see you again.